All right, guys, heading into the shop. Hoping to get that car prepped up for primer and make sure it's ready to get some base coat on in the next day or two, because we're running out of time because we got the show coming up. So yeah, let's get that done. Okay, jumping ahead a little bit here. I got the emblem off and this trim piece out. I'll show you in a bit how I got those off and what I had to do to get them off, in case anybody else has one of these cars. But you'll find a lot in these restorations or these older cars when you're working on certain things. You'll get in behind some of the trim pieces, you'll end up getting a lot of rust where the seams are. And you can see I already wire wheeled this, and I got a little spot blaster, one of these little sand blaster guys. Just put on a face mask and eye protection, or a face shield, kind of like that one there. And you can usually blast out most of it, but there's always like little bits left over, and because it's a seam, right, you can't get right into the seam. So I have this product here. It's called Seal. A lot of mixed reviews online people have been having. It seems like people try to use it as like a be-all end-all situation, and they don't want to do any prep work, which they say you don't necessarily have to, but if you put it over a heavier layer of rust, it's not going to penetrate very deep. So a lot of guys will end up saying it doesn't work because as soon as you go to sand on it, you can just see the rust underneath. But anyways, how I like to use this product is in seams and stuff like this. It's technically a primer, so it won't really eat into any of your paint work and stuff. But I painted up, or I taped up most of the edges here just so it's protected. What I like to use it for is to get right up into these seams and any of this pitting. Just put some over the pitting, because even if you sandblast it or wire wheel it or anything, there's always a chance that there's a little bit left in here. And you can never get it all perfect without properly sandblasting it or acid dipping it or whatever else you got to do. But I don't want to get too far into the rest of the paint and everything else around here. It's not doing a full restoration. I'm literally just trying to paint the roof right now. So the best thing to do right now is to get some of this, and you just brush it on and you leave it overnight, or I guess they say 24 hours or something like that. 20 to 24 hours is what they say. And yeah, so I'm just going to brush some in this gap here and over any of the pitting areas, leave it. And then tomorrow I'll actually come back and sand again. And then the only parts that will be left with the Seal will be in the pits themselves or up in the seam. Anywhere because it doesn't really work on bare metal or fresh metal. It doesn't really do anything for that, so you're going to end up having some adhesion issues with your primers. So I'll sand everything again afterwards. So the pitting will be treated, any of the rust will be converted, and I'll sand again so it's back to fresh metal on the flat and good parts. So let me get some of that on here, and yeah, then we're going to leave it for the night and come back tomorrow and prep it for a primer. Let's do it. get too far ahead of myself. I just want to go over how I got the trim pieces off. And the headliner moved away from the sail panel to get at the back of the emblems and get those bolts off, or the nuts off of them, so we could remove it to work on the outside. So as you can see here, I got the headliner trim. There's a trim that goes across here, a couple screws, and then on the back of it, the headliner material itself is attached to like a cardboard strip or some sort of fiber board strip, which also has a screw in it right here, and I think that's it on the side one. Then you got these tabs that hook through the cardboard. I just bend them up so I can slide it off. On the bottom, there's another piece right here, which has screws through it. And the screws just go into the thing here. You just kind of gotta lift up on the edge of the material to access the screws. And then same goes on the back. There's another strip there. I think there's only a screw at the bottom and maybe one on the top there, but there are little screws that hold on those cardboard strips, so you just gotta be careful not to pull on it too much, otherwise you'll rip the headliner off of those strips. Now before you do that, you gotta take all this trim off all the way across. I did the same thing on that side, so I'll just show you one side. But and then to actually get at the bolts, you can see in here, this is where there's nuts that hold the back of that bottom trim piece. There's 3 of them. You can access them through these round holes. There's 3 round holes there. You can't, with the panel, the side panel that goes here, it kind of half covers it. So you have to take this panel out. It's got a screw at the back right here. It's got 2 screws down here, another one here, somewhere in the armrest, just below the armrest, and one in the top corner here. And you take those off, it pops off real easy. You just got to get it up over this, pull it up over this lip, and the whole panel comes out. To get these off, if you have a trim tool, it's easy, but anything flat, it's got this clip that slides forward in line with the handle. When you push the 2 ears back like this, you can kind of see there's a little ear there. When you push the clip back, it releases it, and then it just pops off like this. So, I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube showing you how to do that. In behind this headliner is an insulation panel, kind of like this. This was from another part, but this one here, you can it's kind of glued in there a little bit. You can just pop it out real gently. Mine came out in one piece, thank God, so that wasn't too bad. As far as the seats, it makes it easier to get these side panels out if you remove the seats. On the bottom, you can you just pull up on the bottom of it. There are some screws on the back of the backrest. It screws into the side panel, so you have to pop that one out. Then you got another one that goes here, there, and there, and then you just pull out on the back, and the whole back seat comes out. The bottom one just pops in real easy. You just pull up on it and it pops it out of the clips. But yeah, other than that, once you got all those done, you pry all these, same with on the back here, you got more of these style clips on the back. We peel that back, and then you have access to everything. There's 3 nuts on the bottom one. This top one has a press fit clip. Let me go find that and I'll show you. And it has these that are stuck in the car. So these are just like a collar. These are stuck in these holes, and when the pin goes into it, this clip kind of grabs onto it, because as you can see, it's kind of cone shaped. It grabs onto the pin and holds it in there. So you have to be real careful getting these out. I kind of bent a couple of them. Hopefully I can bend them back. These also had somebody was in here before, because they also had a ton of adhesive on the back of these, so it was quite the fight to get them out without breaking them, but we got it. And yeah, that's pretty much all to get the trim out. Not too hard. Only took like an hour or so, being real gentle, being real careful not to break anything. So hope you have good luck like me. I didn't snap anything or bend anything. So, and the headliner is very delicate with those staples, so you have to be real gentle with it. But if you take your time, it all comes out pretty easy. So it's the next day. You can see the core seal has cured up nicely. It's all turned black, eating up all that rust. All the pitting has been treated. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to sand all this up. Sand it back down, just leaving the pitted and hard to reach spots, which are cured. Leave those, and the rest can go back to bare metal. So it has a good bite for the primer, which I would like to get done today, because we are way behind and we have some serious catching up to do. So let's get to it. Okay, both sides are sanded up. As you can see, back down to metal. Only the parts that are pitted are nice and black, and all on that seam up inside there is nice and black, which means the rust has been converted properly, and the rest is sanded fresh for a good bite for the primer. So let's get this over the booth, get the rest of this sanded down quick, hopefully, and make sure she's nice and flat, and then we'll get some primer onto it. A real nice day out today, so I'm going to do a bunch of the sanding outside, keep the dust down in the shop, and yeah, let's get a majority of the prep work done outside before we bring it in and taper everything off. So flatted out. Got all the bad spots feathered in. All the edges feathered in. All the gaps down in here. All that sanded real good. So let's get it masked up and get some primer on this. have it, all masked up. Let me shoot some primer on this, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, she's all primed up. Got some high build on there, and everything's covered nicely. As you can see, it went on pretty heavy because it's a high build, so I'll have to block it down, make it all smooth. Got this trim panel done too. It goes in here. I head out now, let this cure, and then I'll either come back tonight and block it down so we're ready for base coat tomorrow, and catch up then. So, thanks for watching.